Here we are back on the client side. So now let's look at the management of non-conformity on the D6 side, acceptance of the D6th, acceptance of the costs, and we'll also make the request for the D7th so we can complete the full workflow. Let's take a look. So here, I didn't show it before, but there is the current status of the non-conformity, and in this case it is D7, or rather the D7. If the one that comes after, we have arrived there. So let's open the D6. It needs to be validated. What happened here? The supplier uploaded an LPA for us. They showed that everything was validated. We saw the completion of the LPA earlier. I can also see it from here, and I can also approve the validation here, or reject it and pass the ball back to the supplier. So at this moment, I can also click approve here, because in any case, we have seen the validation, so I confirm the D6. At this point, I can do two things, which are, once the D6 is closed, both red lights turn on here. I have two main options here. I can proceed with the formal closure, which involves finalizing the non-conformity report by setting a final severity level, adding the necessary notes, and then closing it out. Alternatively, if that is not the right path, I can choose to request the D7 to initiate a different stage of the review process. And so the D7 has actually opened for both for the supplier and for the customer. Both now see this, but the supplier has not yet been notified. If I want, I can close the non-conformity on the customer side here. Otherwise, I can easily make a D7 request, and that is what I will do to see the complete flow, where I go to request the implementation of the D7 from the supplier as well. The D7 is preventive actions. That is the evaluation of the implementation of the corrective action on similar processes. So I can no longer close the non-conformity right now because I requested the D7, but I can still go and manage the costs. I go to open the costs and I see the supplier who, in a discussion, tells me 250 euros is unacceptable. Please re-review it to 200. And I click OK. Cost revised, and I can send this to the supplier, edit it, and go revise the cost to 200. As agreed, because we discussed it and we came to an agreement. The reason is absolutely mandatory to include. Once I've saved it, I see the cost of 200 that has been revised. I can also, if I want, add other costs because scrapping parts, scrapping costs. He had asked me to scrap the parts. Consequently, this scrapping has a cost of 200 euros that I will go to charge to the supplier. And here I have another 200 proposed. It tells me it has proposed. Now I'm going to look at the PDF. I have a total of 400 euros loaded. In the PDF, I go to see they are both still proposed because, in fact, the supplier hasn't accepted the 200 yet. Although he asked for a verification, still a revision, he hasn't accepted the 200 yet. So at this moment, we even have 400 euros of induced costs to be accepted by the supplier. Now let's look at the D7 upload from the supplier side, the acceptance of the induced costs, and on the customer side, we will then see the closing of the 8D, and this first module of this first module of Nexvala will end here.